Hi, I'm Sonia, virtual presenter of the Innova Plus channel. Innova Plus News, Intellectual Property and INPI is on the air, bringing posts available on the internet between March the 13th and 18th, 2024. But, before you start, be sure to subscribe to our channel, here on YouTube. It's fast and free. If you are already subscribed, then, thank you so much for your support. Enjoy and press the notification bell to stay on top of the channel's news, and also, like and share the videos you like on your social networks. Help us reach the 1,000 subscriber mark. Let's get to today's posts. First block, Intellectual Property. News number 1, Windows Club, March 14th, 2024, Call of Duty. PlayStation explains why it changed its mind and signed the deal with Xbox. In the latter part of 2022 and early 2023, there were political discussions surrounding Call of Duty, and Sony finally agreed to a deal with Xbox to secure the intellectual property rights to Sony's consoles for the next decade. PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan expressed concerns about the game in Microsoft's mind, and Microsoft was frustrated by Sony's delay in signing the contract. In July 2023, Sony confirmed a deal for Call of Duty to remain on PlayStation for 10 years. In an interview with CNBC, Ryan stated that his team decided to change their ideas after time, and that Sony was absolutely excited about partnering with Microsoft. Sony didn't want to risk losing Call of Duty, and preferred to sign the deal after the FTC's defeat in the courts and the UK's CMA. This may be the last time Sony talks about Jim Ryan's current role, as he is leaving the company later this month. News number 2, IGN, March 14th, 2024, Nobody Likes to Sue Fans. Former lawyer for the Pokémon Company shares a rare insight into the company's thinking. Former attorney Don McGowan of the Pokémon Company has shared a rare insight into the company's thinking on removing Pokémon games. McGowan explained that the company did not actively seek out Pokémon games to encrypt, but only sued them when they crossed a certain threshold. He also mentioned that the creator of Pal World didn't expect a massive expansion of the game. McGowan and the Pokémon Company's legal team often found a project using its own rights after it was reported in the news. However, there are several examples of Pokémon games that have received a revocation notice, including the destruction of a popular tool for creating Pokémon games in 2018, the discontinuation of support for a Pokémon game called Pokémon Uranium in 2021, and the removal of nearly all videos of an FPS involving a Pokémon game that went viral on YouTube and social media. The Pokémon Company numbered only a moderate and generic statement, stating that it would investigate and take appropriate action to address any numbers that infringe on intellectual property rights related to Pokémon. News number 3, UpdateorDie, March 14th, 2024, Nintendo vs Yuzu, the consequences of the process. Nintendo's lawsuit against the developers of the Nintendo Switch emulator Yuzu has led to significant changes in the video game industry. The action resulted in developers abandoning their projects and communities re-evaluating their practices. The resulting legal battle led to a shift in the emulator community and the development of strategies to avoid association with piracy. Nintendo's actions have significantly altered the trajectory of various emulators and the gaming industry. Nintendo has filed a lawsuit against the Switch emulator, accusing it of facilitating electronic piracy. The emulator not only allows but also offers instructions for users to play unauthorized copies of Switch games. Nintendo considers this a colossal facilitation of piracy. The lawsuit highlights the need for developers to offer resources that could be interpreted as encouraging piracy. The creators of the emulator chose not to face the legal embargo, citing their financial capacity. The community of developers and users must continue to dialogue about the legal and ethical aspects of game emulation, ensuring respect for intellectual property and legal risks. News number 4, State University of Serra, UECE, March 15, 2024, UECE honors women and girls who do science. The University of Serra, UCE, hosted a symposium on the International Day of Women and Men in Science, with the aim of discussing the science and innovation produced by women scientists in Brazil and Ceará. The event discussed innovation, intellectual property, new technologies, and their impacts. The event also featured the presentation of researchers and students from Uece, Ceará, and Brazil. The event highlighted the power and potential of women in the pursuit of knowledge and the creation of an inclusive and innovative world. For women, including Sandra Monteiro, Theresa Mogalés, Paula Lenz, and Sueli Sampaio Daming Custodio, were honored during the event. They emphasized the importance of women's support in management and education, highlighting the importance of Women's Day. The event also featured a poster session and a presentation on the challenges and opportunities faced by women in science and technology. The event also featured a presentation on the Alvoa Lacteos program, which aims to promote a more diverse and enriching environment in the state's higher education institutions. The event was organized by the Uece Choir, a music teacher, and the University of Ceará. Second block, INPI. News number 5, INPI, March 13, 2024. INPI participates in WIPO activities on patent classification. On March the 11th and 14th, Keisha Waldman, a researcher at INPI, participated in the 55th session of the International Patent Classification Committee, IPC, and the 11th annual meeting of the Cooperative Patent Classification Committee, CPC, in Geneva, Switzerland. The committee, together with the Intellectual Property Rights Organization, WIPO, submitted and validated work reports from the IP5 rating group, the progress of the IPC review, and semiconductor experts. The meeting also discussed the success of the 2023 meeting in Brazil. Other activities of the committee included discussion of the revision of the CPC, the actions of national institutes and WIPO using artificial intelligence for classification and status improvement, and improvement proposals for the IPC guidance on emerging technologies and cross-cutting technologies. The CPC annual meeting will address the state of the system, future developments, IT highlights, and presentations from national institutes on their experiences with the CPC, including Brazil. News number 6, INPI, March 13, 2024. INPI releases study on coffee-related technologies. The National Institute of Industrial Property, INPI, has launched a new edition of its series of studies, the Technological Radar, produced in partnership with the Federal Institute of Education, Science and Technology of the Holy See, IFS. The study focuses on coffee-related technologies, presenting a historical overview of patents and utility models in Brazil from 2000 to 2023. The study found 125,145 patent applications worldwide, of which 3,055 were filed in Brazil. The main countries with the most patents are China, the United States, and Switzerland. Brazil ranks 16th among the 115 countries identified, with 564 patent families worldwide. The study concludes with an executive summary and an interactive data page on the Technological Radar website. News number 7, INPI, March 14, 2024. Technical event encourages exchange of experiences on the Madrid Protocol. A technical incentive event was held for the Director of Brand Service of INPI on March 14, 2023, in Rio de Janeiro. The event aimed to promote good practices and address updates related to the functioning of the Madrid Protocol. The event was a joint initiative with the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, and the Japanese Patent Office, JPO. Ayato Sakaki, president of Rio de Janeiro, highlighted the cooperation between JPO and INPI, which has already trained more than 500 INPI examiners and is entering a new phase. WIPO advisor Juan Rodriguez presented an overview of countries' adoptions of the Madrid Protocol, highlighting Brazil's growing demand for trademarks compared to other post-COVID-19 countries. The event also featured a presentation on international trademark applications. On March 15, another event was held at the Brazilian Association of Intellectual Property, ABPI, in Rio de Janeiro. News number 8, Techmundo, March 8, 2024. Justice defines that Meta, owner of Facebook, will be able to keep the name in Brazil. See details. The Court of Justice, TJSP, decided that Meta, owner of Facebook, Instagram and WhatsApp, can keep its name in Brazil. The decision was made on February 15. The decision was based on the request of the Brazilian company Meta Serviços, which registered the trademark in 2008 with the National Institute of Intellectual Property, INPI. 1. The similarity between the names has caused confusion among consumers and users of the platforms. Meta Services has been involved in numerous lawsuits and has received visitors looking for the Facebook founders' authors. The decision was considered irreparable or difficult to repair, and the possibility of reversing the decision could be considered in higher courts of justice. The decision was made in 2021, and Meta Platforms adopted the name in 2021, symbolizing the company's new focus on building a large metaverse. As a result, Meta will no longer need to change its name in Brazil. News number 9, Emigalhas.com.br, March 8, 2024, Judge of Justice prohibits Via Varejo from using the Vivilog Logistica brand. Via Varejo and ASAP Log Logistica e Salucos must stop using the Vivilog Logistica brand in their business operations for 15 days, subject to a fine. The decision comes after Vielog Transport de Cargas e Logistica UpdateorDie, owner of the brand, filed a complaint with the INPI National Institute of Intellectual Property, alleging confusion and mistaken statements about the quality of the service. Initially, the judge rejected the request, leading to the filing of appeals to the TJDF. The judge concluded that the use of the trade name by Via Varejo in its commercial activities represents a serious risk of harm to the company, as well as illegal practices in the competitive racing sector.